Here I go. Okay, this is to give it its bald title. This is a briefing for your essay, which actually, on the surface of it, doesn't sound very exciting at all. And I was just looking at the slab of text that we give you, and if you don't read it terribly closely, it doesn't sound. Come in, sit down, be quiet. If you read it superficially, it won't sound very exciting at all. I think every one of you has now reached a critical point in your time here at Bucks, and this is the critical point. You spent the first year getting used to being here and engaging and functioning. Fantastic. You've now done almost half of the second year. And there's always a risk around there that you think, oh, this is my life. This is how things are going to be. I will turn up, I will do stuff. They'll tell me whether it's good or bad, I'll go away. That's my life. As you know, from about this point onwards, the courses, and ask people in the third year and they'll tell you this, the course goes much, much faster. All right? So you leaving us is a very real prospect. I'm mentioning that now because when you make your decisions about what you're going to do for this piece of work, that's what you need to be thinking about. That's how you need to make your decisions about what to do. Let me just run through for you some things that you ought not to do. They are temptations. Anybody who's ever done this kind of work has been tempted in this way. I have been tempted in this way. That's why I know you mustn't do it. You're thinking, right, so there's this essay I've got to do. It's going in on the 1st of March. I've got a few weeks to do it. What did I do that sort of worked and kept them quiet? I know, I'll get that one out. I'll reheat it a bit. Knobs on, hand it in. Job done. Don't do it. Don't do it. You have a chance to start to prepare yourself for practice, for getting out there and doing stuff. If you're starting to get that sense, then what is it that you can do with this piece of work that would better equip you to get out there and do it? The reason that we ask you to do this kind of work is to make sure that when you get out there, you are really good at putting a point of view, your point of view, where you support what you say with evidence. That's why we do it. It's not because we're academics and we think you ought to do essays. It's because experience has shown that doing this kind of work enables you to be a more effective practitioner. So very much with that professional mindset, you need to think about what we're asking you to do here. And I'll just take you steadily through what we've got in the brief. Here we have the grand claims at the beginning. This project will equip you with the skills to analyse a range of critical issues in contemporary arts practice. You know what the issues are in your area. We don't, and we haven't specified them. Notice with this piece of work, we're pretty much taking the constraints off. You have to take possession of it. You have to own it. You have to set your brief. And only you can do that now because you know where you're headed or have some sense of where you're headed. So keep thinking about that. Current debates around identity politics, socially engaged practice, display cultures, the role of language in creative arts practice, globalization, consumerism, and ethical consumption. Huge, huge, huge areas. Any one of those might be enough for you. Or another one that you haven't thought of, or rather that we haven't thought of, I beg your pardon. But you know is the thing you want to know about. That's the thing you should be drawn to. If you're drawn to something that you don't actually know much about, so you're a bit anxious about committing yourself to it because you're ignorant, do it. It's exactly the right way round to do things, where you're curious about something but you don't know yet about it. So then what you do is choose to do it for something like this, which is actually, it's a comparatively safe challenge, all right? The mark for this will be give you accurate information, the feedback if you like, about how well you're doing. To that extent it's important. It doesn't alter the quality of the degree you walk away with, okay? So you can afford, within reason, to take some risks in doing this piece of work, okay? So curious but ignorant, perfect. Now is the time to do it. A limited piece of work where you start to find out about something. Very, very good. Lots more on that list. This list is by no means conclusive, and you will have the opportunity to discuss any issues and debates that interest you. Now, the thing that you've got to do... It's all right, come in. Come in. That's all right. Okay. The thing that you've got to do with this piece of work is you need to develop those ideas and issues in contemporary practice, that's your area, contemporary practice, that most interest you as a practitioner, and to explore an area of debate with a view to developing it for your dissertation, square brackets, and your life after you leave here, close brackets. Okay? So it's a chance to test something, really. If it works, you may choose to develop it for your dissertation. Fantastic. If it doesn't work, and don't be afraid of this, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Fine. So you do something else for your dissertation. That's not a problem, okay? But it's an opportunity to test something. After all, when it comes to your dissertation, you don't want to be wedded to something that actually is not going to work. So now is a chance to find out. If it works, brilliant. If it doesn't, you know that it doesn't work. You don't have to worry about it. You move on and do something else. You may well have identified an area of interest through your case study analysis and want to continue with this issue. By all means, connect up with the things you've done so far, but I still have my health warning about not just reheating things that were good. You're moving forwards. You are developing. You are changing. That's what you need to use this piece of work for. Now, just a little bit about the mechanics of it. In order to make this experience for the first time much closer to the process you'll go through in preparing for your dissertation, we're going to ask you, before you come to your first tutorial, to complete a very straightforward proposal form for the essay. All right? So you need to start thinking about not just the area, but also what your research questions might be, and to check whether there's sources out there. You can find the form on Blackboard. My colleague Kate McIntyre has posted it. You can download it, and because it's electronic, if you've got more than one idea in your head, try working up more than one idea. One of them might just, as you try and make it work, you just think, no, shan't do that. And another one is fine, okay? Because you can duplicate that file as often as you want. If you come to your first tutorial and you've identified an area but not a research question, that's the conversation you're going to have with your VMC tutor in that first tutorial. Remember, and I think this is to its advantage, doing this essay is quite a rapid process. You're getting briefed about it now. You're going to hand in on the 1st of March, okay? And it's the 25th of January, I think, today. So pretty much you've got 4 weeks in which to do it. That's good. That's good. Just keep moving with it. Don't leave it alone. Live with it, work with it, see how it goes. That is, I should have said at the beginning, and I'm sorry I didn't say that. That is pretty much all you need to know about it, I think. I am very happy to field any questions if anybody has any. No, not at the moment. Just one last word whilst we're in the area of mechanics about how you're going to submit this essay. We did an experiment with your first essay to submit it digitally using email. It was an 80% success, and those of you who are in this room who were part of the 20% failure, I offer my apologies to you for that. We have learnt. We have now set up a mechanism for you to upload both your essay and your feedback file using Blackboard. We're still running some tests on it, but it'll work. What was that groan? Blackboard is the most marvellous thing.